you only catch 8, then your effective area will obviously will reduce accordingly. So this is what you mean by effective area of the antenna. Any doubts so far? Are you able to listen? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Okay. If you have a book, I request you to write down with me. Anyway, I'll be sharing this OneNote also with you in Word. In general, in general, this term of effective aperture or effective area is used with respect to receiving antenna, not transmitting antenna. So this is the major difference. This is with respect to the receiving antenna, and is defined as the ratio of power received in the load to the average power density. Got it, all of you? Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the effective aperture is equal to power received divided by average power density, this much in meter square. This is your effective area. Continue. In other words, the effective aperture is the area which extracts energy from EM wave out of the total area of the antenna. The maximum effective aperture is when power received is maximum. Your maximum effective aperture is given as AEM. This is your maximum effective aperture. Continue. under maximum power transfer condition, the power received is maximum. Okay. Clear? Understood, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now please write down.
Sir, can you please scroll up a bit?
Pardon?
Can you please scroll up a bit,
I will
sir?
scroll up later. Already we are running late. So write down, show that radiation resistance of short dipole is 0.0119 lambda square. 0.0119 lambda square. This is a VTU question, very important. This is a VTU question and it is very important. Show that the radiation resistance of a short dipole is 0.0119 lambda square. This is a derivation which starts from here. So what do you if whatever you want to see, you can see now. I'll be starting this derivation. So I've just explained you what is maximum effective aperture of an antenna and how it is calculated. Everyone clear with this? Any doubts? All of you are clear?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Now from this, we'll be doing very important derivation that is very important from your examination point of view. Okay. Short dipole. The short dipole is also sometimes called as Hertzian dipole. Hertzian. Hertzian dipole. Hertzian dipole is also called as short dipole. Okay, is it clear? So we are doing a very important derivation. All of you please be with me. So I'll be just drawing one small circuit. I hope you remember this from your network theory. This is your V open circuit voltage. I'm just connecting one impedance in series with this. All of you are able to see the diagram? Beena, are you able to see?
Yes, sir. We are able to see.
This is your load impedance ZL. Okay. Okay. This is Z is equal to R radiation resistance plus JX. Okay. Now, do anyone remember maximum power transfer theorem? Saurabh, but do you remember?
Not exactly, sir.
What do you mean not exactly? Okay, Beena, do you remember what is maximum power transfer theorem? Anyone else? Anusha?
No, sir. I don't remember.
Okay. Anyone else? Who can answer? What is maximum power transfer theorem?
Maximum power across the load and threshold resistance. It's
See, if you remember from your network theory, thank you, Kavya. If you remember from the network theory, maximum power is transferred when the load impedance is complex conjugate of the source impedance and both are equal. See, your load impedance should be equal to your source impedance, and the load impedance should be a complex conjugate of the source impedance. Only then your maximum power is transferred. Do you remember that? Yes or no?
yes,
So
sir.
R radiation resistance, what I should write here? Plus or minus? Load. If I do complex conjugate.
Minus JX.
Excellent. Minus Jx. Thank you, Saurav. So your V open circuit voltage, I can write as modulus value of the electric field into elemental length dl. Okay. I will call this as some equation 1. Okay. Where E is the magnitude of the electric field intensity produced at the receiving end, is the magnitude of the electric field intensity produced at the receiving end. Okay. Got it, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I is equal to what will be a current I from this equation? Can you tell me what is I?
V
What is I?
divided by Z plus Zn.
Excellent, Saurav. Tell me V.
VOC divided by Z plus Zn.
VOC divided by Z plus
Zn.
ZL. Okay. Write down for maximum power transfer. For maximum power transfer, load impedance ZL is equal to complex conjugate of your source impedance Z. Okay, this is your source impedance, SORCE, source impedance. Okay. So I can rewrite this as, this is your equation 2. So I can rewrite your equation 2 as I is equal to VOC divided by R radiation resistance plus JX plus R radiation resistance minus JX. Is it correct, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So this will be VOC divided by, what will happen? JX will get cancelled. What you will end up having? 2 times radiation resistance. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is your equation number 3. Next. Please write down power delivered to the load. Power delivered to the load, that is PR. Power delivered to the load that is in the receiving antenna. So I'm writing as PR. You can also write P load. So I can write that as I square RMS root mean square into radiation resistance. So what is I? VOC divided by 2 times radiation resistance okay, this one whole square into R radiation resistance. Now if you observe this equation very carefully, this is I RMS. So what I should do here? This is value of I have substituted. What difference I have to do? Anyone? What I have written is correct or wrong?
Sir, you have to write root.
Square roots you have to write, sir.
RMS value of 10.
Very good. So this is the common mistake you end up doing in the examination. So you will end up substituting from equation 3 directly here. So that is not the case. I have to divide this by root 2 whole thing square, because it is an RMS value. Root means square value. Whenever you take RMS value, value of I divided by root 2. Remember that, all of you. Got it? Got it?
Got
Yes,
it.
sir.
Okay. So what this equation will become? VOC square divided by, this will become 2 square, that is 4. This root 2 will end up coming here, that square will become 2 into radiation resistance square into, this is radiation resistance. Those this one time will get cancelled. This is, so you will end up getting this one as VOC square divided by 8 into radiation resistance. So this is your power delivered to the load or power received. I will call this as equation number 4. Is it clear till here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Rainak Sharma, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so power received. So I can write as, what is VOC bar? What is VOC? Your voltage VOC is E times DL. So I'll substitute here. So we know that VOC is E times DL. So what will happen is, this will be E modulus value DL. Okay. So this is square, because it is VOC square divided by 8 times radiation resistance. Okay. We also know that maximum effective area of the antenna is equal to maximum power received divided by average power density. Okay. So this will be nothing but your PR maximum power received, PR max divided by P average. Okay. So your maximum effective area of the antenna can be written as, your PR max is nothing but this one. Okay. So this is your PR max. You can write this as PR max. I'll call this as equation 5. So I'll write this as E square DL square divided resistance divided by, your average power will be nothing but half E square by Z naught. I request somebody just turn down the microphone, request you to mute it. Okay. So how I have got this is nothing but your Z naught is your radiation resistance of free space. So whenever you take the power, I have to write as half E square by Z naught. So this is one normal way of writing average power density. So this is already known. So this term is your average power density. So if I were to calculate this, what will happen? E square will get cancelled. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this E square and E square will get cancelled. Okay. So this 2 will go up. So your 2 1s are 2 4s are. So you will end up getting here dl square z naught divided by, okay, divided by what I should get, 4 into radiation resistance. Got it till here?
Got it, sir.
Oh, very good. So call this as equation number 6. Call this as equation number 6. Okay. Now please write down, for a short dipole, for a short dipole, radiation resistance is found equal to 80 pi square dl by lambda whole square. See, this derivation of radiation resistance of short dipole or Hertzian dipole will be doing in the 4th module. Right now, you please write this equation. So this is your radiation resistance of short dipole, also called as Hertzian dipole. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So if you have to substitute this, what will happen? Now substitute the value of radiation resistance of a short dipole in equation 6. Sorry, show that not radiation resistance. This please change this. Show that maximum effective area AEM of a short dipole is 0.119 lambda square. There is one small mistake there. Please make a correction here. Show that maximum effective aperture of a short dipole is 0.119 lambda square. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if I were to substitute in your equation 6, so your maximum effective aperture, what will become? DL square Z naught divided by 80 pi square DL square by lambda square into 4. Agreed?
Yes.
So what will happen here is DL square will get cancelled. Substitute Z naught is equal to 120 pi. So this is, I can write as 120 pi. Okay, 4 into 80 pi square by lambda square. 1 pi will get cancelled here. So I can rewrite this as 120 lambda square divided by 4 into 80 pi. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this will be 4 ones are. How much it should be? 30, no?
30.
Okay. So here 100 will get cancelled. So you what you will end up getting? Maximum effective aperture of a short electric dipole or a Hertzian dipole will be 3 by 8 pi lambda square. Please substitute this and find out whether you get 0.119 lambda square. Please check that.
We'll get, sir.
So maximum effective aperture of a short dipole is 0.119 lambda square. Is it clear for each one of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll just revise what we have done for this derivation of show that maximum effective aperture. So I have written as here maximum effective aperture. Okay, so we have taken one circuit where we called before we have told this is the voltage here VOC. This is your impedance Z and this is the load impedance ZL. So at the maximum power transfer, source impedance is equal to load impedance. Radiation resistance plus Jx is equal to radiation resistance minus Jx. So voltage is nothing but electric field into elemental length dl, where E is the magnitude of the electric field intensity produced at the receiving end. So I can find the current I divided, that is nothing but V divided by Z plus ZL. So if I have to use this maximum power transfer theorem, your admittance part will get cancelled. So you will get voltage divided by 2 times radiation resistance. Power delivered to the road is I square RMS into radiation resistance. This is the value of I. So your I RMS will be I divided by root 2. So this is your equation 3 divided by root 2. So whole thing I am substituting here. So I will get the power received, that is your V square divided by 8 times radiation resistance. V square is nothing but E dl. So E square dl square divided by 8 radiation resistance. Maximum effective aperture of the antenna is your maximum power received divided by average power density. So your maximum power received is nothing but E square dl square divided by 8 radiation resistance. Your average power density is half EL square by Z naught, where Z naught is your intrinsic impedance of the free space. So once you do the mathematical fine tuning, you will get the dl square Z naught divided by 4 times radiation resistance. And for a short dipole, radiation resistance is found to be equal to 80 pi square dl by lambda whole square. This whole thing you have to remember. So this derivation will be doing in the 4th module. 80 pi square dl by lambda whole square. This is the radiation resistance of short dipole or Hertzian dipole. So the maximum effective aperture, this one I substitute back in your equation 6. So I will get dl square Z naught divided by 4. 80 pi square dl by lambda whole square. So dl square by lambda square, dl square will get cancelled. So I'll end up getting 3 by 8 lambda square by pi, that is nothing but equal to 0.1199 lambda square. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Anyone
Yes, sir.
having any doubts, please get it clarified. Anyone?
No, sir.
Is it absolutely clear? Radiation resistance of a short dipole or Hertzian dipole. So what will be the question asked? Prove that maximum effective aperture of a short dipole or Hertzian dipole is equal to 3 by 8 pi lambda square or 0.119 lambda square. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay, next one more derivation. This is your derivation 2 for you today. Prove that prove that the maximum effective aperture of lambda 2 dipole is 0.13 lambda square. 0.13 lambda square. So this is your next derivation. Okay, so this is the proof of it. Please draw this diagram. Saurabh,
Yes, sir.
what do you understand by the term dipole?
Dipole basically means there are two poles.
Excellent. That is a dipole. See, basically we are doing effective aperture of very simple antenna case. Lambda by 2 dipole is a very old antenna, first antenna which was ever designed. And your short dipole, Hertzian dipole, and the lambda 2 dipole are the first antenna which were ever designed by any antenna people in 1930s. So that derivation of what is the maximum effective aperture is what we are trying to find out using these derivations right now. This was found way back in 1930s. Okay, by the name Hertzian. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Your current I, this is your electric field direction E, that is along the Z axis. This is your radiation resistance. Okay. This length of the antenna. This length of the antenna L is equal to lambda by 2. Okay. This x direction will represent direction of incident wave. Direction of incident wave, that is your electric field direction. Are you taking down this figure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I request everybody to concentrate 100% in the class. You can't read these things later. You will find it difficult. Electric field along the length of lambda 2 dipole antenna. Okay. E of theta comma phi is equal to E cos 2 pi by lambda y volts per meter. Okay. Have you taken down this diagram? Call this as figure 1 and call this as figure 2. Please write down. In figure 1, lambda by 2 dipole with nature of current distribution is shown. With the nature of current distribution is shown. Consider a lambda remember whenever we call as lambda by 2 dipole antenna, length of the antenna will be equal to lambda by 2. That is what is the meaning of lambda by 2 dipole antenna. If I call lambda by 4 dipole antenna, what will be the length? If it is lambda by 4, what will be the length?
Lambda by 4.
Yes. So if it is lambda by 4, the length will be lambda by 4. If it is lambda by 2, length will be lambda by 2. As simple as that. Okay. Placed along y direction. Next. Let the direction of incident electric field is x direction. Is x direction. Okay. It can be shown that electric field variation E theta comma phi is equal to E cos 2 pi by lambda into y, because electric field is in y direction. Call this as equation 1. Why this is y? Because I am taking electric field in the y direction. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Please draw one more diagram. This is little bit tricky, this derivation. This whole length is your lambda by 2. So this half length will be lambda by 4. This will be lambda by 4. This is your length 4. So this is your negative y direction. This is your origin O. So this will be your positive y direction. This whole thing is uploaded in your notes also. You can have a look if this diagram is not clear. So I can write your VOC, your open VOC as 2 times integration 0 to lambda by 4 E of theta comma phi dy. Why I am integrating 0 to lambda by 4 two times? Because you have both mirror images of lambda by 4. This entire length of lambda by 2, I am dividing into lambda by 4, lambda by 4. So 1 lambda by 4 is in the positive y direction, 1 lambda by 4 is in the negative y direction. So when I am trying to find the voltage under this area under this curve, so I am integrating from 0 to lambda by 4 two times, because there is a mirror image on both sides. Is it clear for you? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what will be this? Will be 2 times 0 to lambda by 4. What is your E theta comma phi? That is E of cos 2 pi by lambda into y. That is from equation 1 I am taking. dy. Is it correct? E cos 2 pi by lambda into y. So I'll call this as okay, I won't call this as anything. So right now we'll continue with this integration. So 2 times E. If I were to integrate this, what will happen? With respect to dy, this will be sine of 2 pi by lambda into y divided by 2 pi by lambda. Is it correct integration? Is it correct, Bina? Where are you? Kavya, is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
See, I am
Yes, sir.
integrating with respect to y. So your E is a constant, so I am taking 2e outside. So cos will become sine of 2 pi by lambda into y. So since I am integrating with respect to y, this whole thing will come in the down. So 2 pi by lambda, that is your how we do integration. So if I have to substitute this, so 2e by 2 pi into lambda, this whole thing will be sine of, so I have to apply the limits wherever y is there, correct? Wherever y is there, substitute lambda by 4. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So 2 pi by lambda into lambda by 4. This is what is the limit substitution, minus sine of 2 pi by lambda into 0. So this is what will happen if you apply the limits. So this is your voltage VOC. So your voltage VOC. So if I do further substitution, what will this be? So this will be 2 1s are, this will be 2 2s are, lambda will get cancelled. Okay, so here this whole thing will become 0, right? Okay, so if I do the further substitution, I will end up getting 2 lambda. This 2 will get cancelled. Two will get cancelled. So if I do the further substitution, you will get E lambda by pi. You can check this value. If there is any problem, we'll come back on this later. This is your equation 2. Okay. Now with respect to, write down, with respect to maximum effective aperture of antenna. So what is your maximum effective aperture? That is power received maximum divided by average power density. Average power density. Okay. 1 minute. I have done some small mistake here. 2 will come now down. Here.
Where, sir?
No. Okay, correct. Fine. Okay. Fine. So, what is your PR max? Okay. What is PR? This is maximum. So, your PR maximum. Just now in the previous this one we have done. So, what you will get here?
Square by 4 radians of the received.
VOC square divided by 8 radiation resistance. So once again, I won't do that derivation. So VOC square divided by 8 times radiation resistance. So what will be our average power density? Half E naught square by Z naught. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So I'll call this as equation 3. Okay. So what will be our maximum effective aperture? VOC square divided by 8 times radiation resistance divided by half E by E naught square by Z naught. Agreed? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this will be your VOC square divided by 8 times radiation resistance into, so your 2 will come up to Z naught divided by E square. So 2 ones are, 2 fours are. So this will be VOC square Z naught divided by 4 times radiation resistance into E square. So this is what you will end up getting. Call this as equation number 4. This is your maximum effective aperture of the short dipole. We know that VOC is equal to E lambda by pi. So you will get your maximum effective aperture as, so substitute your VOC is equal to E lambda by pi in your equation 4. So substitute in equation 4. So if I were to substitute in equation 4, so what will happen? VOC square will be E lambda by pi whole square Z naught divided by 4 times radiation resistance into E square. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if we were to further what to say, simplify this, so I will get E square lambda square into Z naught divided by 4 pi square into radiation resistance into E square. So this is your maximum effective aperture, EM, maximum effective aperture of what we are doing of lambda by 2 dipole. So I can rewrite this as AEM is equal to Z naught So I'll rewrite this later. So what we are having here is right now E square lambda square divided by 4 pi square radiation resistance into Z naught by E square. So this is what we are having. Substitute Z naught is equal to 120 pi. substitute Z0 is equal to 120 pi. Before that, this E square. So you will get maximum effective aperture is equal to Z0 lambda square divided by 4 pi square into radiation resistance. So this can be written as, okay, Z0 is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi square into R radiation resistance. So what will happen here is pi will get cancelled, right? Okay. Now, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So please observe. So 4 ones are, this will be 3. So again you will get here 3 lambda square divided by pi into radiation resistance. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's 13 also.
Where ma? Correct. 30. Now please substitute radiation resistance of half wave dipole is 73 ohms. 73 ohms. This you have to remember. Radiation resistance of half wave dipole is 73 ohms. Okay. So substitute. I call this as which equation I have to call? I have to call this as equation 5. So substitute radiation resistance is equal to 73 ohms there. So what you will end up getting? So that will be 30 lambda square pi into 73. Are you getting this 0.13?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So a maximum effective
Yes, sir.
aperture of a lambda by 2 dipole, maximum effective aperture of lambda by 2 dipole is 0.13 lambda square. Maximum effective aperture of a lambda by 2 dipole is 0.13 lambda square. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See how we did this derivation and how we did the previous derivation. Let me just go through for your convenience. Show that the maximum effective aperture of a short dipole is 0.119 lambda square. So I have taken one small circuit, shown that the maximum power transfer load resistance is equal to source impedance. Source impedance is equal to complex conjugate. Sorry, load impedance is your complex conjugate of source impedance. So you will get here minus jx term. So whenever I substitute for I, these minus will get cancelled. So you will get VOC by 2 radiation resistance. Then found the RMS value. Then found the power received. This power received I have substituted in your maximum effective aperture formula. Maximum power received divided by average power density. So your maximum power received is E square DL square divided by 8 times radiation resistance divided by this. Then you will get the maximum effective aperture. Once you get the maximum effective aperture for a short dipole, you need to substitute radiation resistance as 80 pi square dl by lambda whole square. So that is the major difference here. Once you substitute that, so you will end up getting 0.119 lambda square as the maximum effective aperture of a short dipole. So that is for a short dipole. So maximum effective aperture of a short dipole or a Hertzian dipole. So this is short, SHORT, short dipole or Hertzian dipole. Hertzian dipole is nothing but 0.119 lambda square. Now next derivation that they may ask is prove that the maximum effective aperture of a lambda by 2 dipole is 0.13 lambda square. So for that I have taken one lambda by 2 dipole, found the electric field and the current distribution. I have found that E of theta comma phi is E cos of 2 pi by lambda into y. Y direction is I have taken this y direction. 2 pi by lambda is nothing but a wave number. So wave number means that particular wave will go with this kind of wavelength. So that's what I call by wave number. So your open circuit voltage I am finding by doing integration rather than a circuit formula what we have done for the previous things. See, we have found VOC by using the maximum power transfer theorem. In case of short lambda by 2 dipole, I am doing integration. So how I am doing integration from 0 to lambda by 4, 2 times E of theta comma phi dy. What is E of theta comma phi? E of cos 2 pi by lambda into y dy. So that I am integrating from 0 to lambda by 4. So once I do the integration, this you will get as a sine of pi by 2, that is nothing but 1. So this whole integration I will get as E lambda by pi, VOC value. So if you remember here, VOC value was in the previous case E into dl. That is what was the VOC value. Here there is a slightly change. Instead of E into dl, I am getting the VOC value as E lambda by pi. So in your short dipole derivation or Hertzian dipole, VOC is equal to E into dl. So instead of your elemental length dl, you are getting your lambda by p in case of lambda by 2 dipole antenna. So with respect to the maximum effective aperture, from here the derivation procedure absolutely remains same as in the previous case. So your maximum effective aperture is your maximum power received divided by average power density. So how do you find the maximum power received now here? So where was I? So maximum power received is nothing but VOC divided by 8 RD. That is very similar to your previous case. This is what we have done here. Remember, all of you are getting what I am trying to tell you. I square RMS into radiation resistance. So the same thing you will end up getting here. So the same thing I have directly substituted in the second equation. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. VOC divided by 8 times radiation resistance. Otherwise, you remember this VOC square divided by 8 times radiation resistance. This is what I have taken from the previous step. Okay. So average power density is nothing but half EL by E square by Z0. So if I were to substitute this, I will end up getting VOC Z0 divided 4 radiation resistance into this one. So I'm substituting VOC is equal to E lambda by pi, and then Z0 is equal to 120 pi. So finally I'll get 30 lambda square divided by pi radiation resistance. So once I get that, I'll substitute radiation resistance for lambda by 2 dipole as 73 ohms. So once I substitute this, I'll get maximum effective aperture of a lambda by 2 dipole is 0.013 lambda square. Okay. Now please write down relationship between directivity and effective aperture of an antenna. Relationship between directivity and maximum effective aperture of the antenna. Straight away write the formula. This derivation is normally not asked. 4 pi by lambda square into maximum effective aperture of the antenna. effective aperture 4 pi by lambda square into 0.13 lambda square. So this will be equal to, directivity will be equal to 1.633 lambda by 2 dipole. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts so far? Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
No, sir.
See, the important point you need to remember here is radiation resistance of lambda by 2 dipole is 73 ohms. You need to substitute. In case of short dipole, what is it? DL square. So this is what we have substituted here. Remember, 80 pi square lambda, DL square by lambda square. Sorry. So this will be DL square by lambda square. So this is the major difference between radiation resistance of lambda by 2. How to do this derivation will be reading in the 4th module. Any doubts so far? Anyone? So far, any doubts?
No, sir.